Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window on this Friday, and not a bad day out there today. We thought might see a little rain shower activity this morning, really didn't happen, and then just some lingering clouds throughout the day. Beautiful shot looking down from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera at the Wenatchee Valley. And as we get into the upcoming Halloween weekend, it looks nice for Saturday with high temperatures once again in the upper 50s tomorrow. Some clouds will roll in, and then Sunday a bigger storm headed our way. We have a 50-50 chance of rain on Sunday, lots of wind, and highs in the 50s, and moving to trick-or-treat day on Halloween for Monday. Expect temperatures by Monday early evening in the mid 40s to low 50s. It is going to be windy out there. That'll make it feel a little cooler, and also a 50% chance of rain on Halloween. We'll talk much more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Grant County health officials continue to advise people to stay away from the area of a fertilizer plant fire last Sunday outside Moses Lake as the fire continues to send noxious smoke into the air. Wenatchee Valley College announced yesterday that 4 finalists have been selected in its search for the next president. And campfire restrictions have been lifted in the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. But first, our top story tonight, a drag queen story hour that was scheduled at Pybus Public Market on Saturday has been moved to a new venue after public backlash, much of which was generated after a social media post by a candidate for Chelan County Commissioner. The event, sponsored by YWCA North Central Washington, has now been moved from the plaza at Pybus to the WYCA building on First Street, or YWCA building on First Street in Wenatchee. Wednesday night, Commissioner candidate Sean Smith shared a poster for the Drag Queen Story Hour on Facebook with his own take on a metaphor about placing a frog in a pot of cool water in order to boil it, replacing the word frog with children. His post had generated more than 1,500 comments by this morning, both in support of the Story Hour and against it. Many commenters called for a protest at the event and urged people to voice their concerns to Pybus business owners. Thursday night, Pybus posted that its board had decided the event will no longer be held there. YWCA NCW Executive Director Rachel Todd addressed the issue in a video posted on social media yesterday, saying they won't back down.
This is not a controversial issue. At the very core of it, this is an issue of inclusivity, and we really are striving to build a joyful, inclusive, equitable community. These events are part of it, and at the root of it, it's not controversial. Everybody wants to feel safe in the community that they're in. That is why we are doing these shows, and that's why we are doing these events, and why we continue to move forward, even if we ourselves are receiving a lot of community backlash from a specific sector of the community, and we'll continue to. This isn't something that we'll back down from.
Grant County health officials continue to advise people to stay away from the area of a fertilizer plant fire last Sunday outside Moses Lake as the fire continues to smolder and send noxious smoke into the air. Officials reported yesterday that air monitoring stations in the area have detected sulfur dioxide coming from the fire. The State Department of Ecology and U.S. Environmental Protection Agency have been monitoring the air at 7 locations near the Wilbur Ellis plant. It's about 3 miles east of Moses Lake. Sulfur dioxide is a colorless gas with a pungent odor and is a known byproduct of fertilizer decomposition that can cause irritation to eyes, nose, and throat. The fire destroyed the plant and led to a shelter-in-place advisory for people downwind of that fire. Wenatchee Valley College announced yesterday that 4 finalists have been selected in its next search for the president. They are Dr. David Johns, president of Ferrum College in Virginia, Dr. Famous Harrison, dean at California State University at Stockton, Dr. Karen Hilgerson, president of Truckee Meadows Community College in California, and Dr. David Pelkey, vice president of student services at South Puget Sound Community College. The 4 final candidates for president were selected from a group of 6 semifinalists that interviewed a week ago on October 20th and 21st. In total, Wenatchee Valley College received 46 applications from across the country. In-person finalist visits are set for October 31st through November 3rd, with the Board of Trustees expected to announce the next president the week of November 7th. Well, campfire restrictions have been lifted in the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. The U.S. Forest Service said as of yesterday, people are now allowed to have campfires in all areas of the forest where campfires are allowed. Year-round restrictions remain in place near some lakes in wilderness areas. The past week has seen fire restrictions lifted in Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties as wildfire danger lessens with the onset of fall weather. Well, when we come back, Wenatchee's popular Saddle Rock hiking trail was officially reopened yesterday with a ribbon cutting by Mayor Frank Kuntz. The old station Highway 285 off-ramp will reopen at 6 o'clock tonight. And Chelan County Public Works says the Knowles Road Improvement Project is moving along as the contractor will be paving impacted driveways through today. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Fellow Chelan County residents, this is Sean Smith. As a local business owner, I understand the increasing challenges of survival. And as a father of 4, I understand the need for a safe environment for our families. As a lifetime resident, I am seeing changes that are not productive or safe. As your next county commissioner, I will work diligently to make sure things get better. County commissioners face a lot more than just community development, and you must be prepared to work on all levels of county government. I am ready, willing, and capable, and would ask for your vote.
Welcome back. In another news, Wenatchee's popular Saddle Rock hiking trail was officially reopened yesterday with the ribbon cutting by Mayor Frank Kuntz. The trail has been closed since July 18th for the second and final phase of a cleanup of old mining waste. The city said there's still some details to finish on the cleanup project, but the trail with new improvements will remain open. Last weekend, Make a Difference Day volunteers were out planting new bushes, trees, and grasses in preparation for Thursday's reopening. Well, also reopening, the old station Highway 285 off-ramp. It will reopen at 6 o'clock tonight. The off-ramp has been closed since October 17th as part of roadway changes being made in the area to accommodate the new Chelan County PUD headquarters and service center. Other changes in the works include traffic signal updates, intersection revisions, and an extension of Technology Center Way to Easy Street. The new PUD building is expected to open next year. Well, Chelan County Public Works says the Knowles Road Improvement Project is moving along as the contractor will be paving impacted driveways through today. Public Works is hoping to finish the project over the next 2 weeks, with most of the work during that time off-road, concentrating on seeding, fencing, pond grading, and mailboxes. A reminder, though, that you may come upon flaggers during that time, so please follow directions and take it slow. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
As nature does its magical change from the green of summer to the orange and red of fall, camping in your old tent isn't going to cut it anymore. It's time for you to get a great deal on a motorhome, travel trailer, or fifth wheel from Click It RV during our year-end clearance events. We need to make room for our 2023 models. Get 30% off, 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and receive a lifetime warranty. Come visit us today off I-90 in Moses Lake and see big savings at Click It RV.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Day of the Dead, a post-Halloween tribute to loved ones who have passed, will be celebrated next Tuesday at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. In tonight's feature story, Rosa Pulido of the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about the roots of the celebration and what it involves.
The museum and the Hispanic Business Council are partners in this, and it's something that we hope to continue every year.
For the uninitiated, what exactly is the Day of the Dead?
Yeah, so Day of the Dead originated in Mexico, of course, and it kind of just spread out to the different Spanish cultures, and it's been very popular. It's, celebrated November 1st through the 3rd. Everyone builds a beautiful altar to commemorate a lost loved one, and then you kind of fill it with what we call ofrendas, which are offerings. You put your offerings on the altar, kind of how you see behind here. You fill it with candles, incense, flowers, and then a lot of your loved one's favorite things. So whether that's, favorite foods, favorite drinks, that's what you would put on your offering. And the idea is that your loved one will come back and visit you for, that duration. And so it's just a good time to celebrate life and celebrate the life of, those loved ones that have passed on. So one of the activities that we'll have during Day of the Dead is building your own picture frame. That's something that you add to your, to one of your offerings for the altar would be a picture frame of your loved one to just remember them. And so it helps your little ones and their little ones in the future see who that person was and continue to commemorate them and remember them.
You use the word commemoration a lot because that's really what it is. It's not a depressing
It's not depressing.
thing.
No, it's supposed to be just a celebration of life, not a celebration of death. So I think that's really important to remember, which is why we have so many activities, why we built a big, beautiful, colorful altar, music, food. You're celebrating that person's life and what they left behind. So I think that's very important to remember. We're keeping the celebrations to one day because we're coming back to in person, and we're just hoping that it'll be a huge turnout and we'll have a lot of support from the community. But we extended the hours, so we're gonna host it from 5:30 to 9. We'll have live music, food. We've asked our local women vendors to come and join us in the celebration. So they'll have their pop-up booths set up, and we'll just have a lot of crafts and activities for the family, like face painting, some face masks that we'll kind of do. We'll have mariachi dancers, all the fun things that you would normally have at a festival like Day of the Dead.
Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. The weekend is upon us. Hope you had a great Friday out there. We did see a mix of clouds and some blue sky for our Friday, but all in all, it wasn't a bad one out there with temperatures very nice. How about that? 61 degrees for the second day in a row. 53 is our normal, so way above where we should be for this time of year, but still not record territory. That's 70 degrees set back in 2003. We had a nice mild start to our day, and that helped us get to 61. 36 is our normal low, 45 this morning, and 23 is our record cold set in 1971. Sunrise 7:39 and sun sets tonight at 5:50. Taking a look at what we can expect as we get you into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures tomorrow still on the mild side. 59 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy right here in Wenatchee will hover around 60 once again. 57 in Eniat and Chelan, and the cool spot besides Lake Wenatchee will be up north in Omak tomorrow with a high temperature of 55 degrees. Taking a look at tonight, once again just a little bit of a ridge of high pressure over us. That's keeping that storm system from the Gulf of Alaska at bay. Still a few clouds rolling through that ridge and a few showers in western Washington. For Saturday, it should be a nice start to our weekend. We just talked about that. Partly cloudy skies with highs mainly in the upper 50s. Notice the blue though. Those are colder temperatures and they'll be creeping down. And here's that wind ahead of the storm on Sunday. Cloudy, breezy, a 50% chance of rain showers. Most of it will stay in western Washington. A little bit will spill over with highs in the mid-50s. For Halloween on Monday, mostly cloudy, a little bit breezy still, so that's going to make it feel cool out there. Not ruling out some showers as that frontal system continues to push east. Highs in the mid-50s on Monday. And then as that system moves to eastern Montana, look at the size of that low. It's going to bring us clouds back our way on Tuesday. Cooler temperatures with highs around 50. And then a bunch of northerly air moves our direction. That's going to cool us down on Wednesday. We will see some sun, but high temperatures only in the upper 40s. For Thursday, partly cloudy. We're going to stay cooler than we should be for this time of year on Thursday. High temperatures again only in the upper 40s. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. Tonight, we can expect our overnight lows to drop down to 40 degrees. Mild tomorrow, rain showers then on Sunday and again on Monday. Breezy both days as well with high temperatures in the 50s. As we get you into Tuesday, mostly cloudy, and that's where the much cooler air moves in. 51 for Tuesday, mostly sunny and 49 Wednesday. And look at Thursday, partly cloudy and even a little bit cooler. High temperatures then at 48 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Shyla Burgess, and as we look at the challenges facing Chelan County, we need a commissioner who will protect personal property rights, encourage economic development, and help us restore confidence in the process of building or remodeling a home or building or expanding a business. Ann Hesberg is that person. She's hardworking, honest, and I trust her completely. Please join me in voting for Ann Hesberg for Chelan County Commissioner.
Paid for by the Committee to elect Ann Hesberg.
Hello, my name is Alan Blackman, and I am running for Chelan County District Court Judge. It has been my honor to serve you as a prosecutor and public servant. I have worked hard to keep our communities safe. I have the knowledge and courage, but also the compassion and integrity to address mental health and substance abuse in our local courts. Please vote for the most experienced. Vote for balance, compassion, and integrity. Vote Blackman for judge.
I'm Dr. Kim Schreier, and I approve this message.
This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She says the massacre at Sandy Hook was staged. She claims there's no evidence terrorists hit the Pentagon on 9/11. She's even called for members of Congress to be executed. And this is Matt Larkin. He says he, quote, aligns with Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why Matt Larkin is dangerous, because the last thing we need is another Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Washington State suffered too many crucial mistakes in trying to knock off 14th-ranked Utah last night in Pullman, eventually falling 21-17 with a game tied at 7. Wazoo muffed a punt that gave the Utes prime field position before the half. Then on a 3rd and goal play, defensive captain Brennan Jackson was called for targeting after making a stop for a loss. Result was a 1st and goal at the 2, where Utah scored to make it 14-7 to lead into the halftime. Coach Jake Dickert says Washington State is scuffling on offense right now.
First off, I would just like to thank all the people that showed up tonight. You know, I think they made a difference. I think it's important to them, and I think it meant a lot to our program. You know, so I want to first start out by saying just thank you for all the people that came out tonight. The student section was great. They're involved in the game, and I thought it was important to them. And it meant a lot as we kept going. You know, offensively, we're just not doing anything well to lean our hat on right now. You know, and it's not been able to run the ball. Obviously, Jalen was missing there in the second half. Negative plays, you know, not being able to take it down the field. Turnover once on a 4th down. You know, there's just a lot of things that we need to look in the mirror and try to figure out what we can do well. And we got to lean on that. And, you know, right now it's just inefficient play and not being able to keep the chains moving and ultimately get ahead of a really good team. But give credit to Utah. Give credit to a lot of these defenses we're playing. I think these are good defenses too. So I think it's a little bit of everything.
Coming up tomorrow in college football, Eastern Washington hosts Portland State at 1 o'clock on ESPN+. Central Washington is home against Texas A&M Kingsville. That starts at 6. Washington has a bye this weekend. There were some big, high-scoring games in B-League football last night. Manson beat Oroville 62-16. Lake Roosevelt shut out Tonasket 41-zip. Liberty Bell ran up and down the field against Waterville Mansfield, winning 80-12. Etienne topped Bridgeport 60-32. Coming up tonight, the Battle of the League Championship. Brewster hosting Okanogan. That's at 7 o'clock. The battle for the Big 9 League title will take place in Moses Lake tonight at Lions Field, where the 4-1 Mavericks host the 4-1 Eastmont Wildcats. Coach Michael Don says Eastmont's defense has had to prepare for the possibility of 2 different quarterbacks tonight.
We don't know what they're doing at quarterback. He did not play much in the second half against West Valley. He played defense, and the coach went with his son, freshman quarterback Brady J., who does a really nice job of running their offense. He's got a good grasp of what they're doing. Obviously, I mean, he's at home with the coach, so I'm sure he's got a strong grasp of it. He's been doing it for a while. And so we don't know if it's going to be Brady or if it'll be Brock Clark. But either way, you know, we're ready for either situation. They both bring something different to the table.
An Eastmont win would mean at least a tie for the league championship. Don says it's a great reward for the hard work his players have put in.
I think that's one of the keys. You want to be playing best ball at the end of the year. And, you know, for our kids to be playing as well as they are right now with what they've dealt with has been impressive. You know, it's their mental fortitude has been huge. You know, if we can take care of business here, we get one more home game. And, you know, that's just awesome for these kids, their families, and this community is to be able to come out one more time and watch another game under the lights in East Wenatchee.
Eastmont's relied heavily on an explosive ground game behind Gunnar Peterson, Colby King, and Austin Ruffins. Gael Gonzalez says it's pretty fun to block in front of talented guys like that.
Yeah, so as an O-lineman, as you're blocking, we don't really see the play, we're just blocking our own guy. So when you hear that Colby and Austin and Gunnar are making those big plays, doing those big runs and scoring touchdowns, it feels good. It feels good. So I usually don't know until like 6 seconds after I'm done blocking my guy or whatever, and then I either see the whistle blown and we didn't score, we got a first down, or I hear the crowd go wild and we're scoring.
Eastmont Moses Lake kickoff at 7 o'clock at Lions Field tonight. Sunnyside, meanwhile, also has a chance to tie for the league title with a game at home against Davis. Also, the game will feature here on the NCWLIFE channel, has Wenatchee hosting West Valley on senior night for the Panthers. Coach Scott Devereaux says he knows his hands and his defense's hands will be full with Ram quarterback Skylar Castle, who's thrown for over 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns this season.
Pretty impressive to watch. You know, they just keep throwing it. Doesn't matter if it's raining or not. You know, he threw for 400-something yards last week in the rain. And, you know, hopefully we can make some plays. This is the first week we've been outside. Yeah. You know, we get Alex Brender back. He'll have a big club on his hand, but at least we get a defensive back this week. So, you know, we're going to give them all they can handle. You know, part of our job on offense now is to keep them off the field as much as possible because they can score points fast.
One of 14 seniors playing his final game at home is offensive lineman Colby Hill. He says he's proud of how his team shook off a rough start to the season.
Yeah, it was definitely rough in the beginning of the season. Morale was definitely low. And then we got our first win. It really helped bring the morale up. And we've kind of been riding on that for the rest of the season.
Well, and you guys have been so close, too, in some of your other games, and that Moses Lake game where it's like, man, we could have, should have, maybe, that type of thing. But here you are with a chance to get a win tonight against a very tough West Valley team. Talk about what you guys expect here tonight.
We expect lots of passing, and we expect that our defense will be able to contain the quarterback. He is ranked in the state, so we've heard. So we just got to keep the quarterback contained and keep the DBs over top.
If Wenatchee can come up with a victory, they'd play a crossover playoff game next week to get to the state tournament. Join us for live coverage with yours truly here on the NCWLIFE channel tonight. Pregame gets underway at 6:30 right here. The other game involving a Big 9 school is a non-leaguer for Eisenhower. They'll play Cheney. Caribou Trail League football tonight. OMAC has a non-league game against Clarence Fulton Secondary School. That's out of Vernon, BC. Cashmere visits Quincy while Chelan is hosting Cascade. In CWAC play, East Valley is at Othello. Ephrata visits Ellensburg. Prosser hosts Selig. Grandview entertains Clarkston. Today is day 2 of 3 days of the Big 9 District Swim and Dive Meet. That's happening at Moses Lake. Things got underway earlier today at noon. They'll start tomorrow morning at 11. Busy weekend. Wenatchee girls won the District 9 cross-country meet yesterday in Yakima. Panthers were low with 38 points, while West Valley took second with 49. Both teams will advance to state. Moses Lake boys advanced as well, finishing second to West Valley. Quincy advanced to the District 6 1A girls soccer tournament last night with a 1-0 win over OMAC in a tiebreaker. Also advancing in the District 6B tournament were Brewster, a 3-0 winner over Pateris, and Liberty Bell, who downed Bridgeport 1-0. Wenatchee finished the soccer season with a 4-1 win over Eisenhower last night. Well, coming up in playoff soccer tomorrow, Liberty Bell plays at Okanogan at 11 a.m., while Tonasket takes on Brewster at 2 in the District 6 1B, 2B tournament. The District 6 1A tournament will be held at Wenatchee's Lieboftel Field of the Apple Bowl. Quincy faces Chelan for third place at 11 a.m., while Cashmere and Cascade meet for the championship at 1 o'clock. Eastmont wraps up the regular season on the road at Davis tomorrow afternoon at 1. Prep volleyball last night, Eastmont fell to Davis 3-1. Wenatchee finished off the regular season with its 9th straight win, downing Eisenhower 25-14, 14, and 13 to share the Big 9 title with West Valley. Ephrata swept 3 from Prosser. Other action, Chelan swept O'Connor. Quincy beat Kittitas. Brewster beat Okanogan. Pateris' season came to an end in the district tournament, falling in 3 games to Moses Lake Christian. On the volleyball schedule, Brewster and Lake Roosevelt have a match tomorrow, or today at 4 o'clock. That's a makeup from District 6. That's a makeup from a game that was postponed last week. Tomorrow, the District 6 1A tournament will be at Wenatchee High School. Cashmere and Chelan play for the championship at 3. Cascade and OMAC face off at 5. The loser out game, the loser of the Cashmere-Chelan game will face the winner of Cascade and OMAC at 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. Have a great weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. A lot going on this weekend. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. I hope everybody enjoys this last weekend of October on Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Halloween. I got nothing. I'll figure something out. I got the weekend to figure something out. We'll have a special Halloween edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. What'll make it special, I don't know. Again, I got the weekend to figure it out. We'll talk about everything else you need to get your last day of October going. And we welcome November on Tuesday, a spooky edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. They all are in some semblance, I suppose. On Monday, have a great weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great weekend.